So you could call like this number, I don't know if it was like 1 or whatever it was, and I think it was like through your local library, and then you could listen to stories. So I always enjoyed storytelling.
Nah, she dating herself.
Right?
Hey beautiful people, it's Success Mentor Dante J. Worth, and I'm back with another video right here on Audacious Believer TV! Woo! Now if this is your first time tuning in, I need you to make sure that subscribe button down below. Make sure that you like this video. And make sure that you're commenting down below. Me and my team absolutely love to read your comments. Now today, whatever time it is, we're being joined by the beautiful, the fabulous, the one, the only, tell them who you are, darling.
Carlet Ennille.
Woo!
I don't have a clapper.
She does it.
But I won't tell you the story behind why I don't have a clapper.
Go talk about
I'm going to use my God-given clappers right now.
Yes! So I invited Carlet here to talk about shifting trajectories. Now before we talk about that, I'm going to ask you this question we ask every single guest. What is your story?
Oh Lord, my story,
yes, darling.
So, I am a master barber.
Yes.
Born and raised in Rochester, New York.
Yes.
I'm like, what else? Okay, so
she's like, I'm a master barber.
Master barber. Worked as a barber in an all-male barbershop for, dating myself, 23 years.
23?
23,
Okay,
it's a shame, you know?
Yes, girl.
We
Where?
are
How?
29.
I know, that's crazy.
Started
That's
out
child
at
labor
7.
laws.
So, I did that for a number of years.
Yes.
Then, during my career as a barber, went to college and earned my journalism career, and then spent 10 years in the news industry, both public broadcasting as well as commercial news.
Yeah.
Most recently.
And wait, so what are you doing now?
So now I have a fabulous job at the city of Rochester in the Communications Bureau.
That is awesome. So you went from barbering to the news station to the city of Rochester. Tell us about that journey. What was that like for you?
Which one?
The whole shift you made from being in a barbershop girl.
Such a trip.
To a classroom.
Definitely a journey. I think, oh man, they kind of caught me off with that one. I should have this rehearsed by now because it is my life, right? But for whatever reason, when someone asks you a direct question, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm sure. So it was an interesting transition. I think that even when I barbered, I always felt like there was a little bit more to me than the skill and the craft that I had. And I wanted to be able to use all of my talents, and that's when I ended up going going to college actually.
That's awesome.
And I always enjoyed writing, creative writing, storytelling, love storytelling. Just even as a kid, my mother, there was like story time over the telephone. So you could call like this number, I don't know if it was like 1 or whatever it was, and I think it was like through your local library, and then you could listen to stories. So I always enjoyed storytelling.
Nah, she dating herself.
Right? My age, so that's okay.
Yes, they do. You don't get no older, you get experience. That's all.
There you go.
That's it.
So even when I barbered, I would always keep a journal in my drawer, and some of my clients could tell you I was always turning around writing there. I was, what are you writing about? So that was always with me. I always enjoyed people and their personal stories. So journalism seemed as though it was a perfect fit for me.
Awesome.
So going into the industry, but it was a big transition going from kind of you know, being an entrepreneur in a barbershop all-male environment where anything goes.
Yeah.
And you're the only female, and they're kind of like, suck it up because you chose this business. And then, you know, you go into another tough business of, you know, professionalism and writing. So that was just a transition in itself that took a lot of courage.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of...
Yes, you did.
It took a lot of courage, you know. And then even transitioning, you know, from public broadcasting to commercial news, Channel 13. I mean, that's, you know, another switch, different style of writing, different style of reporting, different audiences and that sort of thing. And learning how to shoot and write my own material for air. And then even being on air in front of a camera. So that in itself was...
That's why she's glowing, because she's used to this. She's always glowing on camera.
It's even more with this nice ring of light in front of me. And Dante.
I mean, I do have that effect on people sometimes. Yes. So, okay, the question that people have a hard time answering all the time is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And for you, because you're still growing up, what do you still want to become? No shade, all tea.
Haven't grown up, according to Dante. And secondly, I don't know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Okay.
But it's a difficult decision, and I truly believe that there are different roads for different people.
There are.
I was that kid where I didn't know necessarily. My parents would always ask me, so what do you want to do? You want to go to college, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, not so much. I remember telling my mother, like, I think the rapture's going to come before I go to college, so why do I need to go to college?
I love it.
And she says, and what if it doesn't? Then what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm not so sure. So, I just think that there are different paths, and life is a journey. So some people may know when they're younger, this is exactly what I want to do, and they'll set a goal and they'll achieve that, and that's great. And then there's other folks who, like myself, tend to be more creative and talented, and so this hair is like in my eyelash, and I can't. Okay. And there are different roads and journeys that you travel, I think, to pull out all that is in you. And we all have so much that's within inside of us, and I think that different roads and routes and experiences pull them out.
That's good. That's beautiful. Good. She made me here to go to Good Morning America, y'all. So for someone out there who's watching and hearing your story of making these big transitions and trajectory shifts in your life, what advice do you have for them?
Trust in yourself and believe yourself.
That's good. That's good. What else?
Sometimes, obviously not enough. When you hear, you know, I truly believe God is always talking to us. That little voice is always talking to us.
Always.
Whether we listen and adhere to it is a different story. So my suggestion would be, if that little voice is telling you to do something, whether it's go to school, whether it's start a business, whether it's run down the street, you know, go for a jog you've never done. If there's anything that's been telling you to do something, and you're afraid to do it, do it anyway.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. You brought up a good point, because you said taking a run down the street. You know, a lot of times people from certain places don't see like that as for them. There's a us and them mindset that some people should be running down the street and some people should be running in the gym. For those people who have that closed off mindset, how can they open themselves up to explore more in life?
One little, don't jeopardy me. I would say one experience at a time, because I'm a completely different person today than I was 20 years ago, or even a little more than 20 years ago. But all of that came to be because I took small steps. I would dare myself to do something different each time.
That's good.
So if you ask my mother, to this day, she'll tell you this. When I was on Channel 13, and she would tell, you know, her friends or folks, this was my shy child. Like, this is my quiet kid that didn't say anything. Even my old barber clients were surprised because they said, you didn't say anything. You would sit in the chair, maybe I'd talk, maybe I wouldn't.
Because you're just taking it all in and watch, keep your eyes on everybody. Just don't act up. Don't act up.
And so my father would always say, you know, there's nothing in life that says that you can't. And I completely agree with that.
That's good.
So you can do anything that you want to do. You can do anything you put your mind to do. If you want to try something, I say try it. You may not be great at it. You may not earn an award for it. But the whole point is you tried. Right? So you gave an effort. You gave yourself an opportunity. So I look at it this. You give yourself an opportunity at life, at an experience. And whether, you know, we never necessarily fail in life. I think that you're just always learning lessons. Yes. So you can take something from it. Don't let that experience take from you. You take from it.
Come on. I'm going to cash out you an offering before you leave here. Yeah.
So you can,
Are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Favorite book?
The Kite Runner.
Woo! I love that book. Favorite 90s show?
Oh, come on. 90s shows? Was the Cosby still in the 90s?
I think that was a little early in the 80s, baby. We ain't gonna talk about it. What would be the theme song for your life?
Theme song for my life. I know like artists that I like, but I'm trying to think of a theme song.
Listen, making my way downtown. Making my way downtown. Walking.
Oh, Strength, Wisdom, and Courage by India Ari.
Oh, I love that. Hey, girl, call me too.
And me too.
Yeah. We come at that too much. To be audacious means to be
courageous.
So tell the people how they can find you online, how they can support you.
So I am on Facebook. So I do have a page, and I have some things coming up, little side projects. And that is Carlet Claire. You can find me on Facebook. And then also my city.
Find her in the city somewhere. Go walk around City Hall. Carlet! Girl, I know you in here.
Don't do that. You won't find me.
So until next time, remember that life is meant to be enjoyed and not just endured.